Using hardware synthesizers, especially digital synthesizers, or using virtual synthesizers in your DAW or on your PC or Mac. This is the question I want to think about today. Check it out.
Mr. DK.
Welcome to Mr. DK TV. This video is brought to you by my sound company,
Sounds Premium.
Yeah, today I want to talk about a very important topic because I have a lot of synthesizers, hardware synthesizers. Some of them are digital synthesizers, and the question is, should I substitute them by using virtual synthesizers like Falcon, like Serum 2, like, I don't know, there are so many synthesizers out there in the digital space. So I also think about the pros and cons, and I want to discuss them right now. So the first important thing is why I am thinking about this, because I was doing a patch, or I was working on a very interesting patch on my Waldorf Iridium desktop synthesizer, which is a digital synthesizer, a digital synth. And this synth, just crashed during I was working on this patch. So I have this synthesizer for about 4 years now, and this synthesizer is quite complex. So I have to admit that there are so many different ways to create sounds, and this synthesizer is really capable of different synthesis things like granular synthesis, wavetable synthesis, FM synthesis, and so on, you name it. This synthesizer is very versatile. I know so many functions, how to work with it. I'm getting really fast with it, and I can do so many sounds with this synthesizer. I have different synthesizers. I have one for granular synthesis, which is a lemon drop synthesizer, which is also quite buggy, I have to admit, and very small, and you have always to look on a very small display. So while my Waldorf Iridium nearly died, I would put it like this, because the synthesizer crashed during the work while I was doing some patches. And then it didn't boot up again, or it was booting up in a power cycle loop all the time. It was booting up, shutting down, booting up, shutting down. And sometimes, let's say 1 out of 20 times, it is booted up and I have access to the synthesizer for, let's say, 30, 40 seconds, maybe 2 minutes, which is the longest period where I can dial in some things. And I could rescue my patches that I have done, where I'm very glad, but how can I use these patches when I don't have the synthesizer anymore, because it's not working out anymore, and I have to find a repair shop who is able to repair this, because I think it's a hardware problem. And I also contacted Waldorf, and they also told me it seems to be a hardware problem now, and there should be something removed. More details on this when I will find a repair shop which is specialized maybe on synthesizers, which is very hard to find on this island right here. And also buying a new one, a new synthesizer like the Iridium, is also no option anymore, because this synthesizer has increased in price in Europe and especially in Africa. So East Africa, where I live in Mauritius, I nearly have to pay 3 times the price that I would have to pay in Europe, which is, putting a new synthesizer like the Waldorf Iridium out of my focus, because it's way too expensive. And I have used this synthesizer 4 years. It's a digital synthesizer. It has, only unbalanced outputs. It's a very pricey device, and I like it a lot, but there are also a lot of cons. And one thing is the weight of this synthesizer. I put it in the hand baggage while I was traveling through Africa. So I traveled to Tanzania, from Spain to Tanzania, and from Tanzania to South Africa, Cape Town, from Cape Town back to Germany, and from Germany to Mauritius, where I live now. And the biggest con I see by not using the synthesizer anymore, because it is damaged, and even this, if it's getting repaired, I'm thinking about choosing another path. Because when I could use software like hardware, because this is a big thing that I see. A digital synthesizer is a digital synthesizer. You can do this synthesis on a PC as well. I don't see any difference there. But using the mouse all the time and don't have MIDI control over everything. So I would need a MIDI controller, which is very good. Of course, I have MIDI controllers like the Icon QCon Pro, and I also have a traveling controller for using my Studio One DAW, which is a very small motor fader from Presonus. Here's a picture of this, and this I'm using, and just to have muscle memory to do my mixes, for example, or when I work on sample packs, or when I'm working on sample packs, I can use this controller to speed up my workflow, of course. As a fader and controlling the DAW, it's a good thing, but for controlling synths, it's not the best option, I have to admit. So if I could use software like hardware, then I would go for it. And now I have done my research, and I found a very interesting piece of gear that kept my interest, and I'm thinking about to order this, because then I could use all my plugins like hardware. This would speed up my workflow a lot, and could also replace digital synthesizers that I could sell, because yeah, traveling with them is very hard. They are very heavy. And there's also another device from Waldorf, which is like the Iridium desktop synthesizer, but with way less buttons, of course. It's not that heavy, which is a Pro, but you have just a few buttons and a very small display. So, and coming from the desktop synthesizer, Iridium, going to a smaller one doesn't feel right, to be honest. So I'm thinking about using a new innovative controller that I can use with my virtual plugins that can do synthesis as well. I have a Falcon, for example, and I can use Falcon for a lot of things. It's also very versatile. I have to get into this plugin again because I was not using it anymore. Mainly I was using my synthesizers. So the ASM Hydrosynth, which is a wavetable synthesizer. And for physical modeling, I'm using the Anima Phi. This new controller is being produced in Cyprus, I think. So I have to get it from Cyprus to Mauritius. That's quite challenging. But I think this could solve a lot of problems. And I tried to repair the Waldorf Iridium. And when I have done this, when I have repaired the Waldorf Iridium, then I would maybe sell it, keep it, I don't know. But this crash of my Waldorf Iridium synthesizer led to my thoughts right here, maybe to switch my workflow. And also for making dub music, it's good to have a MIDI controller. Of course, I'm doing a lot of things with my MPC Live 2. This is the main centerpiece of my work. And it's very annoying when the old workflow is interrupted by a crash, because now I'm not able to use my synthesizer anymore. And I have to create samples out of my patches for my MPC expansion, which is coming up for Reggae Dancehall. It's a Reggae Dancehall expansion part 2. This is the cover for all the people that are into reggae and dancehall music. You can sign up to my newsletter to get a special price, introduction price, when it will be released. So just sign up for my newsletter. You can find a link in this video right here in the corner, and also in the video description below. So just hit that link and subscribe to my newsletter. I'm also very interested to know what you think about this topic. going for hardware synthesizers or switching to virtual synthesizers by making them like hardware synthesizers. Of course, you can't replace analog gear. And I also have this analog heat, which is very interesting, this device, because you can make digital synthesizers sounding much more warmer and give it back this analog feel, which I'm using a lot. I'm always focusing on my samples that they sound quite warm. I like this warm sound of analog gear, and there are a lot of synthesizers like the Anima Phi, where I'm quite satisfied with, but also this device has a lot of cons. It's very small, very complex, not easy to work with it because the matrix is quite complex and it's a steep learning curve at all. So that's why. Yeah, I'm really interested what you think about using hardware synthesizers versus using software synthesizers. I'm also very happy when you have recommendations in reference to MIDI controllers, because I think that I will use MIDI controllers in the near future. And I'm not meaning fader ports or any fader controllers. I'm especially referring to knobs to have that hardware feel, because I don't like sitting in front of a PC and dialing in everything with the mouse. This is very time consuming and also not that good for the eyes. So that's why I'm thinking about having a hardware device where I can see everything with a touch screen as well, but it's there on the go. I don't need a mouse, and with knobs. So a device like this. Maybe you know this device already or you are using it already. Just let me know in the comments, and maybe I will go for this device, for this new MIDI controller right here. So maybe I will buy this one, and then I will keep you updated. I will do an unboxing video and how it is integrating into my setup. Maybe I can also link it up with my MPC Live 2. I think this could maybe work out as well. So I can integrate my hardware synthesizers into my DAW by using this device. This is also my thought or my idea. So we will see what will be the outcome of this. And yeah, see you next time, next Sunday, 9 o'clock, Mr. DK TV. Please subscribe to my YouTube channel. I'm out of here. Blessings.